Hello and welcome to podcast 1. This is Jen and Liz Speaks, and we'll be discussing found poetry and theme exploration throughout week 1, which is from March 31st to April 6th. So, just start.
Yeah, so essentially my found poem, I ended up with some days are long, some nights never end. I've prayed to the coming wind, and I've loved every sky I've ever seen. Time like snow never stood around for me. Worry about worry, where will never let you be. But don't forget that the lost shall be redeemed. Sit in the headlights glare, kick in the hunter's snare. But if you long to see the stars again, never grow too old to dream. So I made this found poem based on the song Too Old to Dream by Nick Shoulders. I actually found this song through my brother, and we spoke about how it helped him a lot going into college, and I thought about my experience going into college as well soon. And
wait, before you go on, so what was your theme that you were trying to cover for this week?
Right, so it was resilience.
Okay, so so what is the poem itself saying?
So the poem itself, basically what it says is that even though there are many negative aspects of life, like the first lines describe, the last phrase of each section becomes positive, and that itself tells us, it acts as a reminder that there's always a silver lining to our experiences.
Do you want to read your reflection that you put down at the bottom?
Yeah, so I chose to revolve my found poem around resilience, as it is a crucial part of human nature, which resonates with people's universal experiences. Each person is bound to come across setbacks that could cause them to doubt their dreams or to view life with a pessimistic lens. It's a popular theme tackled in media, seen in pieces such as Ian Martel's Life of Pi and Khalil Gibran's On Pain. These works can entertain an audience as they immerse themselves into the story and feel a sense of empowerment in otherwise impossible situations. However, literature that focuses on resilience can also have a much deeper meaning and influence on its reader. It can serve as a guide on how to bounce back from a certain circumstance, and it sheds light on the human ability to adapt and encourages a reliance on hope. The song Too Old to Dream by Nick Shoulders brings to mind this theme, as it begins with negative comments on life that many people find relatable, and the last phrase of each section, however, becomes positive and acts as a reminder that there is always a silver lining to life.
So hearing your reflection in your theme, I think it accurately represents self-reflection. Just hearing your reflection read out, it's truly what happened throughout this week. I think this week truly embodied self-reflection. So your reflection, I keep saying reflection. Your reflection reflects people as a whole. I'm gonna say reflection again. It embodies this is staying in here. I don't know, I'm trying to get my words up, but you see what I'm saying? It's more people orientated.
Yeah.
So it's how people feel, how people think, how people move out throughout life, and it serves as a reminder for everyone. I hope he's not bothered by all those. Yeah. So moving on, because it's a podcast. I'm only human after all. Moving on.
So what's your theme?
My theme I picked was fear, and the reason I picked fear is, for some reason, stop. I'm trying to be talented. The reason I picked fear is for some reason I just had such a attachment to Life of Pi. The story truly inspired me, and out of all the poems that we had this week, it was the one that I truly had like a full grasp or understanding of, and I was quite proud of it. So the found poetry that I found, fear is what holds back an individual. Fear is what makes one feel alone. Fear is what rots an individual. Fear is a disease. I get that. Thank you. So when it comes to my reflection, I said when it came to reading The Life of Pi, it truly allowed for me to reflect on myself. As someone who usually cowers away from things due to my shyness and fear of judgment from others, this text allows me to visualize what fear does to me. Within the text, imagery is constantly used to paint the image of fear. Fear is even given human characteristics due to it being something that isn't physical, making it hard to imagine its effects. A line that especially allowed me to visualize this was nestling in your memory like gangrene and seeks to rot everything, even the words with which to speak of it. When I think of gangrene, I think of green and black decaying skin and oozing pus that makes one imagine something dreadful. Fear in itself allows a person's true true self. Why would it do that? True self to rot away, almost like a disease of some sort, because it enables one to truly be themselves. As soon as I read that line, it reminded me of when we were talking about a descriptive in class, not this class, but another class, and how the teacher really wanted us to make sure when we're reading through stuff to really look at keywords to know what the author's really trying to describe you. So I remember gangrene vividly because she even told us to search it up, hey, this is exactly what they're talking about. I just think the gangrene line was so powerful because fear in itself does rot at people. Fear haunts people, and I think that line truly in itself sums up the whole text itself.
Right, and even in your found poem and in your reflection, I like how blunt it is, it's very direct. Because honestly, that's the reality of how fear affects people in real life.
Is that all you have to say?
I think so.
Alright, this is the end of podcast. I was about to say 2. Podcast 1. Thanks for tuning in.